Hello, today is Sunday, January 30th. Today's spread is really going to be about exploring personal conviction and perseverance. So it's going to be a spread asking about whether or not it's time to walk away from something or try harder. We're going to ask Spirit to inform us through this spread, really examine whether the situation that we're asking about, should we, if there's a challenge, should we walk away from it or should we power through and keep going? So that is what today's spread is. It's about walking away or trying harder. So let's see here. It's a really good spread as we're about to end the first month of 2022. And then let's see where we are. I mean, really think about something, maybe something you brought up on your vision board. And as we complete the first month of the year, let's assess where you are with your challenge, with your goal settings. And maybe there's some challenges and it's time to ask, what to do next. So our first question is going to be, what is my calling and what must I do? We have the Chariot. So it's interesting because this is really about powering through, continuing to persevere. Your calling is exactly that, the Chariot. It's really about staying the course of the race, if you will, staying the course of your path, because you are divinely guided on your path and you have a vision. It's a very, it's a clear vision. There's nothing clouding you. There's nothing in your way. There is, so if you were asking, or what you were asking about, if it's feeling like a challenge, this first card, so we're going to end up reading all of them, as one whole message, but just kicking this off, and what is your calling and what must you do? Your calling is, well, one, to carry on your path. So whatever your big vision, your big goal for 2022 was, stay on that path. Whatever challenges may be coming up right now, this card is indicative that you are on the right path. Keep powering through, keep persevering, keep going, and you're meant to be victorious. So in the number 2 question is, what happens if I walk away? And honestly, I feel like if you walk away, you're so close to achieving this offer of more money, this new position. If you're, if you've been working towards a promotion, or if you're in school, like, you're so close to finishing and getting that with this car, with this Chariot, that what happens if you walk away is that you're going to miss out on that opportunity for more money, for more abundance. So do not, this is really saying don't walk away, because what's going to happen is you're leaving money at the door. What happens if I stay and work at it? Let's see what happens if I stay and work at it. 10 of Wands, your burdens will be lifted. This is challenging right now. It feels like a race. It feels like you're running out of time. It feels like you're going against something. Maybe it isn't worth it. It is. And so you're feeling this really heavy energy of being just overworked, overburdened, but it's the 10 of Wands. You're there, you're at the end, stay the path. You're on the right path. You're on the victorious path here. And if you give up now, after all of this, what happens, if you stay and work at it, you will be able to put these wands down to accept this great, offer, and to claim your reward, right? Your coin that you're working towards. And so if you stop now, you give this up, and this was for nothing. So far, pretty straightforward, let's see. The biggest challenge as it stands. The biggest challenge as it stands is, we got the moon here. Now we have 2 major arcana here in these really significant questions, So the biggest challenge as it stands is it's that unseen, is what lies beneath that when we set a goal, sometimes, it's okay. So this is definitely a tangent moment coming on. So oftentimes, we have a big thing in mind. Now, you want to buy a house, you want to get a high promotion, you want to make $1 million, something that seems really grand. And so, when we start off, like, for example, we start off the year and you set some of these, resolutions or these goals, and they're, like I said, we tend to go big. I think, like, it's not, I want to lose 1 pound, it's like, I want to lose 100. And then, but it's, everything always just seems really massive is the energy here with this moon, right? So what it is that something big occur, you have something in mind, and we're usually not good at parceling it out into smaller, more attainable goals that would measure up to achieving the big goal. So the biggest challenge as it stands right now is that what's hidden, you're experiencing this, you're at the cusp. Now that's going to look different for some, for everybody. This is general, but regardless, I think we're always all on the cusp of greatness, right? We're always on the cusp of, every decision we make has the potential of being life changing or not, right? Like it's pretty cut and dry that way. So you're on this path. This has been a journey with these two major arcana cards. The energy is it is something that you're talking about, that you're asking about, that has been a long journey. It's not like a couple hours or a month or week. This is like months to years. And you're so close. And so to stop now, you would give up the reward, and all the burden and all the work would be for nothing. And so the big challenge is it's what's unseen. You don't see this end in sight, this victory being so close, but you're definitely feeling the weight of the journey. And while the goal might be more money, more, financial stability, the burden is so real that this challenge right now is that it's not that you've lost your way, you're still working on the path, but you're really starting to doubt, and if it doesn't feel like this was like a goal or a resolution or a vision or something from the beginning of this year, but maybe you revisited, this year to sort of assess where you were, or it is something that made it to your vision board, but maybe it was carried over from the last year or even before that. So whatever it is, it's been something that you've been working towards for a while, and you're really close. But the fact that you're close is also becoming this challenge, because you're starting to maybe not remember or not see. And also maybe, not even maybe, but it's also that whatever it is that you're so close to achieving, even you can't imagine how big the reward is going to be. So maybe you had a goal in mind of, making $100,000 a year. And so you're super close to getting that raise. And while you're expecting or imagining, or what you worked for was a $100,000 raise, you have you can't even imagine, you have no idea that potentially what you give up is going to be like $150,000 a year. Like, it's something so much more than what you were expecting, that it's really becoming a challenge that's standing in the way right in this moment. So these next two cards both popped out. So I'm just going to put them here, and I'm going to pull one more. So we'll do this little bunch. It'll be like this. Okay, so these next three cards are going to be, how can I soothe any stress? What different approach can I use? And who is my support system? So how can I soothe any stress? The 9 of Swords indicates that the situation is stressful to you right now, and it's keeping you up at night. So one thing you need to do is work on your night routine. I'll see if I figure out how to link it. I just did a spread for yesterday, was the how to have a peaceful night's sleep. And so this is really speaking that where you're having trouble, where your stress is manifesting, is in your ability to sleep at night. It's keeping you up. You're stressing over it. You might not even know you're stressing over it, but you're not sleeping well at night. And so that's really where your stress is. So how you can soothe that is going to be really starting a routine to sleep, to lay the work, hang the work up, and have a self-care routine that's separate from your work. It's time to really start implementing some self-care habits here for your well-being, personal, emotional, physical, mental well-being, not just the professional. That seems to where it is where all of your energy is lying. That goes to this, what's the challenge sort of standing in the way with this moon? This could really begin to affect your health, because in this next card, the what approach can I use? The Four of Swords is asking you to take a pause, meditate, rest, take some time to reassess where you are. So maybe this can get cleared up for you so you can see how close you are and what is that reward that you were working towards. What is that victory, what is that finish line that you had in mind, that you were so close, that you worked so hard for, that something is getting blocked and it's not being seen and it's being hidden. You need to take some time to really approach this with new eyes. And the way you get that new way of that new view to what the whole scene is, to look at the big picture and then look at the smaller steps that you've taken, as big as they may feel. This is the bigger goal. And so what are those steps? So the new approach, you need to take some time for you, for your healing, for your well-being, mental, like I said, mental, emotional, spiritual, physical health. You need a routine. There needs to be something that happens for you to start sleeping at night, meditation, listening to guided meditations to sleep, sleep hypnosis. I think I really like some of those sleep hypnosis tapes. Playlists that they have on different listening platforms. I can't even think of one right now, but my son will set them up, and I have them programmed on my phone, so I can just hit the playlist, even through audiobooks, and I have different ones. But it's really speaking to this routine. And then this seventh card here is that who is your support system? So you have choices in regards to a support system. So you do have options of people that, maybe you do have your own. If you're watching this reading, you might you can have your own spiritual team that you work with. So maybe it's time to do a few things. Maybe you have a yoga instructor that you really like, or maybe you have a personal reader that maybe you can check in and have a reading, or maybe someone that does Reiki energy healing work, and so that could be one. There's multiple options here that you have in regards to who is your support system. You have friends and family, close loved ones, as well as professionals in different areas that can also aid as support system in this time. Because like I said, we have this moon energy that's really appearing as a challenge, because you're having a hard time seeing what lies within. What is in that darkness that hasn't been illuminated. And so it's about revisiting the big picture, placing, sort of categorizing where the work has been happening, what the goal is, where we, give weight to the work, but not to the detriment of our health, our personal, well-being. And so you need to rest more. You need to take care of yourself and let go of some of this burden by refocusing that you are on the right path towards achieving all of your dreams. And the moon in many ways represents those really hidden desires, because sometimes they're hard for us to speak into action or speak into fruition. And when we get in that energy, we forget that. And so, we need the moon to really brighten up that dark sky for us to see again. And sometimes even with the moon's light, we can't see our path, or we can't find our way out of that. And so then we end up with sleepless nights, or we're not really seeing other ways that we can, support ourselves. And so this is really suggesting to you to focus on yourself. You have multiple options and different ways that you can achieve that. But doing this will help you move this moon energy into less of a shadow and more of that illuminating of the night sky, to refocus you that you are on your right path. Let's see. Am I truthful about the perceived outcome? I'm running out of space. I'm gonna pile this up. I'm gonna pile it up here. So, am I truthful about the perceived outcome? Yes, you are truthful with the outcome. However, so here's what's happening. Okay. I don't know exactly what it is, the outcome that you are, if you're watching this, what your outcome is. And I don't know. This is general. But what I do know is that it is big. It's career driven. It's about the work that you're doing. It's about your lifestyle. It has to do with, you know, leveling up your finances and your stability around finances with a career outcome of a way of making money and doing something that you are passionate about, that you love, that really brings out what your deepest desires have been, to how you want to live each day, what's your lifestyle that you want to have, and how that lifestyle and all of that passion and energy, all that great goodness that's been brewing inside of you, like for a long time, like all of that is coming into fruition. And so living that it's like this goal. The Two of Wands represents it. Yes, that is the way, and you're truthful about that. But it's a positive card in that there are two options here, and they're both positive. So on the one hand, they're holding the world in their hand. They're holding on to one of the wands. Are you truthful about wanting to live this, really magical, manifested, all of your dreams and desires? Do you want to live that? Yes, you do. Are you on the right path? Yes. Is it going to prove to be financially rewarding? Yes. But here's the but, right? You are being tested right now with this burden that feels so overwhelming, that there is a part of you that's like, maybe this isn't going to work. So I'm just going to stop right here. And you're stressed out over it. You're not sleeping. You're trying to figure some things out. But like I said, there are choices, and the choices are not just about how do you calm this down. It is also representative that you are living a life right now already. And so you're already living a life that is good, and that you've been doing, and you know how to do it, and it's comfortable, and it does provide, and it's been good. And so there is, this sort of authenticity in, are you truthful about the outcome? Well, yes, you want this great lifestyle you imagine, but you're also really content with the one that you have. And that can be really tricky, because sometimes, we can get motivated when we're lacking something. And sometimes that, for some people, the lack of something is a motivator to get out and do the other thing, like to move harder, to, a lot of times people have a hard time, taking care of their health. And then when they go to the doctor and they find out that there's something going on that they have to, suddenly that's what changes their mind to actually take notice and make those lifestyle changes. Or, someone in your family gets really sick, or something happens that influences you to then make a quick shift and change in lifestyle. But more often than not, it's hard for us to just make those big changes, or to really buy into the possibility of having a big lifestyle shift and change, when we're so set in the other way. And changing, while necessary for growth in life and part of, our ever evolving journey, is easier in smaller bites than in big gestures and big movements. And so what's happening here is that there is something you're asking about. Should I stay? Should I keep working towards this thing I've been working towards, or is it time to walk away from it? And the fact that you get this Two of Wands for, are you being truthful about the perceived outcome, means that you would be good either way. And that is in part why the message now seems very, doesn't seem clear now, because we started with this, what is your calling? What must you do? And it's like, stay the path, keep moving forward. Like you're on your way to achieving all of these things that you want, right? You've been working at it, it's been work. It has not been easy or a given, but with all the burden of it, it's about to pay off. Like you're really, really close for it to pay off. But on this other hand, right, we have, what are the challenges that are standing in the way? How are you dealing with your stress? Are there other ways to approach this? And it all goes back to you, really being in your head, overthinking, it maybe doubting yourself a lot, not quite sure, like you don't really see the victory in sight because you're being not even pragmatic, but you're really stuck in like the logic part of, well, I need to know for sure, what is this? And what you're finding, just like you have multiple sources to reach to for support, you're also realizing that part of one of those support systems is, well, I do have an income stream. I do have a roof over my head. I do have, like whatever it is, you're like, I do have that. So do I need to keep challenging myself to potentially achieve this other thing? Or can I be comfortable where I am? This is what this is really asking you to do here is like, what other approach can you use? I'm getting the strong message of really meditating, sitting, writing things out, journaling, really thinking about what is the thing you're asking about, because how you perceive the outcome is good either way. You're not missing out with this Two of Wands. You're close. Yes, you can achieve it. But if you don't, you still have the world in your hands. You're still good. So it's one of those like good to great, good to better, like there's no lose here, right? It's only a win-win. It's just up to you. And sometimes when we have it that almost that good, or where we're not in that total fear of missing out of something, then it's actually harder in many ways to get us motivated to push past that sort of mundane state or the stagnation, because we don't feel it since we do have everything that we want. So that's the message. It's not super clear, but I think it's clear enough. I think it's a clear message. I just don't know if it's a message you'd want to hear. At least that's what I'm feeling. How do you improve your knowledge and skills? So we have the Queen of Pentacles, and then am I enjoying the journey? We have Death. So how do you improve your knowledge and skills? This is the Queen of Pentacles, is all about that earthly energy, very responsible, very resourceful. So how you improve your knowledge and skills, I would say, especially in particular to this decision about, going for more, staying where you are. I think it's really going to take a pragmatic view for you to sit down and write out what are these two potential outcomes. Like, where are you right now? If it's financial, like where do you live? What do you make? Like, what are your bills? All of these things, to really look at them on paper and then really clearly imagine, what would this promotion look like or feel like or be like? Like, it can't just be a random number. It needs to be a specific number with specific ties to it. I need, $66,477 for like this down payment of this house. And then the mortgage will be, $3,000. I need to make sure I make at least, $9,000. Like, it has to, like, really taking that Queen of Pentacles energy to really improve your knowledge and skills of your tangible life, like your lifestyle, to see what it is that this very close victory that you have at your doorstep. Not there yet, really close, but it's a lot of work, like, what is it that lifestyle, what are the knowledges and skill sets that you need for that? Like, it's time to write those out. What is it that you already have? I think it's a good idea to look at all areas of your life. So not sleeping well, like what else does that lead to, or has it led to? That stress, what is that doing to you, especially in the realm of achieving these goals that you've set in mind? What would it look like if you took time to meditate? What would it look like if you took time off? Like, could you take a little time off? Do you have time off to take and take a moment to see what these options are? So really, this Queen of Pentacles really represents that the way for you to improve your knowledge and skills is really to map out what it is that you're doing here, that you're working towards, and what do you already have, so that you can assess what are the knowledge and skills that you already have to see what it is that you need. Now, am I enjoying the journey? The Death card really represents the end of something so that something new can be born. You know, it's a rebirth. So it's like this, it's like the moon energy where you've been enjoying the journey, but you're at a standstill almost, where the possibility of this new, of achieving something, I'm getting this message of like fear of success, not fear of failure, fear of success, fear of achieving the goal you've set. And I'm hearing this, maybe I didn't ask for enough. So it's like this idea that, you know, you're going to achieve this, and what if your lifestyle doesn't change that much? Or what if it changes so much you don't recognize it at all? There's this fear. So it's like you have enjoyed the journey. Now that you're really close to achieving everything that you've been working towards, there's like I said, there's a little bit of, there's that moon energy, and now there's this death energy of being almost, it actually reminds me of this sort of Two of Pentacles here and this Two of Wands, that energy of you can't lose, right? Having both things that you have are good. They're both good things. They're both positive outcomes. Stay the way you are and stop, you know, trying to achieve this, or keep going. It'll be good. So it's like it's a hard place to be almost, right? Because there is no, you got to go here because this one is bad, or vice versa. So what the Death card represents is that while you've been really busy here, so busy that it's like, it's felt burdened, and there's been, you know, sleepless nights and you're stressed. Now that you're getting close, you're having some of this, you know, inner work, shadow work that's happening, that's really asking for your attention, because you're starting to fear what comes next. You know, you're not seeing the offer. You're not seeing this potential queen. You're stuck in the, oh, what if it isn't great? Maybe what I have is good, and so maybe I should just stay here. Or what if it is what they say? And if it is, you know, I see readings all the time, and every time I see when it says this, and everyone says I'm about to get everything that I want, and what you know, what if I don't? Or what if it's just a little bit more than what I have? So you're starting to get really in your head about the logistics of what it's all going to look like. And that is starting to shift your joy of the journey that you've been on towards achieving this, to then having you kind of spin out a little bit out of control in your thoughts, overthinking all the ways in which this can be not as great as maybe you've hoped for or imagined it. Or it's so great that you haven't imagined it, that you're not even sure you can handle it. Like, that's sort of the death representing, you know, are you enjoying the journey? Death really represents that energy of knowing that a new rebirth is possible, and yet, you know, as is all of this, and yet stuck in this unknown, unseen energy. And so that's making you weary. I'm going to just do like one more just overall card, because I know that, let's see, I love trying to trick Spirit. When Spirit gives an answer, a message, and it's not really clear, you know, like you want a very yes, no, very, very clear answer. And when it doesn't happen, I love trying to be tricky by getting clarifiers, and usually that is the message. But I'm feeling like let's do at least one more card here. So this was the overall energy of, you know, let's explore personal conviction and perseverance. Thinking about this particular area that you're asking about. Should you walk away from a challenge or try harder? Look at that, 10 of Swords. I mean, it's the same message. You're at the end, you know, like with the Death card. It's like you're right, you know, you're at the end. The end is right around the corner for this. And it feels heavy for multiple reasons, but the number one is being stuck in your head now. It's really, really this strong, strong energy that you've been working towards something, you've had it in mind, the work has taken a turn to where it isn't maybe everything you imagined, and it's been hard, and it feels isolating, and you're not sleeping well, and you feel just alone and overworked, but you're so close to completion. And completing this is going to be a 180 overhaul. It is going to change your current lifestyle 180, right? You're not looping, you're going from one extreme to from one end of the spectrum to the other. And that unknown feeling, that unknown of what that other side looks like, has you stressed and has you thinking that maybe this was not the best choice, and so maybe you should stop now and stay with what you know, because the feeling is so scary of what the rebirth is, of what ending this and moving away to something totally new that this chariot brings, that you don't know, that's hidden, like all of what is possible is hidden, has you really not just burdened like this 10 of wands, but like fearful in your mind, with doubt and fear and of that unknown. So not any clearer, except that, yeah, I mean, all I keep like thinking and hearing is, it's a lot of like self work of healing, of really sitting with yourself and figuring out why you set out on this journey to begin with. What did you imagine victory was going to be outside of the money and the stability and the promotion and this feeling? Like, what is it that you fear losing in your current state, in your current lifestyle? What are you fearing that you're going to lose by achieving this? And really thinking about the skills and knowledge that you're going to be acquiring and that will improve with achieving this work that you've put in so much time and effort towards. I mean, the only thing I will say is that there is no right or wrong, because either way you're winning. Your life is good today, and so that's not changing. But it could change. It would still be great, but the change is so massive that it is completely taking you out of the life that you know. And it could be spiritual, physical, it could be, like I said, just workplace. It could be your home. Maybe you've lived in a particular place for a long time, and now you're going to start this new job, this new opportunity is like in a whole other county, state, city, country, something so big that that it's scary to think everything you're going to leave behind for this new thing, but you've worked towards it, and you wanted that, and you've earned it, and it's going to be great. And if you don't go and you stay where you are, your life is still going to be good. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong there, but that possibility is really what's holding you back in this energy of really being stuck in your head over not knowing. I'm getting this message that you're like going to different readers, you're asking the same question from multiple readers, or you're checking out different videos, like you want the answer, and the answer keeps coming up with, it's up to you to make the call and take the step and take the leap and continue, right? Continue your in your chariot, right? Continue in the chariot towards the finish line, or not. And but I would definitely suggest some meditation and I'm going to end it there because I am really I'm going to keep pulling cards like this if I don't stop. So I'm going to stop right there. And I am super excited for tomorrow because it is January 31st and it will mean 1 month that I've stuck to doing these readings. So I am really excited for tomorrow, end of the month, and then 11 more months to go. So I'll see you tomorrow.